Good morning, class 6. Let's start our chapter 10, Motion and Measurement of Distances. In our previous class, we have discussed some topics 10.1 and 10.2. So today we will start with 10.3. All of you take out your science book and open page number 97, 10.3, Some Measurements. Activity 1. Let's start. Work in groups and each of you do this activity one by one. Using your foot as a unit of length, measure the length and breadth of the classroom. It is possible that while measuring these, you may find some part remains to be measured as it is smaller than your foot. Use a string to measure the length of a part of your foot as you did before. Record your observations in 10.1. Yes, in this activity what you have to do, you have to make a group of 4 or 5 students and you have to perform this activity one by one. What you have to do, you have to use your foot as a unit of length just to measure the length and the breadth of a classroom, and it is possible that while measuring the length of a breadth and the length of a classroom, some parts can be remained as unmeasured as they are smaller than our foot. Then what you have to do, you have to take a string and mark the length of a part of your foot as you did before when the Bhujo and Bailey were measuring the length of a desk. Okay, like that only they used in that they used a string. Like that only here also you have to use a string just to measure the length as well as breadth of a classroom. Now, activity 2. Work in a group and each of you use your hand palm as a unit to measure the width of a table or a desk in the classroom. Figure 10.5. Now, in activity 2 also you have to work in a group and each of you have to use your hand palm. Hand palm means your palm. You have to use your palm just to measure the width of a table or a desk in your classroom. Okay, like they are doing in 10.5. Now here too many find that you need string lengths equal to your hand palm and then fractions of this string length to make the measurement. Record all observations in table 10.2. Now यहाँ पे it can be possible that you need a string, just string length equal, you may find that you need string length equal to your hands palm. जो आपके string की जो length है वो hands palm के equal है, and the fractions of this string length, then fraction that string length to make the measurement, and record all the observations in table 10.2. We see that measurement means the comparison of an unknown quantity with some known quantity. This known fixed quantity is called a unit. Now, what is a unit? Unit means the fixed quantity. Okay. And what is a measurement? Measurement means the comparison of an unknown quantity with some known quantity. Means, what is a quantity? Quantity means the amount of anything. Suppose you are going to a market and you buy 1 kg of sugar. Then that kg is a unit and 1 is a quantity. Okay. Like that only in measurement also it comes, like kg is a unit of weight And in measurement, what is the what are the units? Meter, centimeter, okay, inch. Now, so the result of a measure is expressed in two parts. One part is number, the other part is the unit of the measurement. Now, so the results which we got after measuring a desk, a table, or a classroom, that result is to be expressed in two parts. The first part is number and the second one is the unit of the measurement. For example, if in activity 1 the length of a room is to be found 12 lengths of your foot, then 12 is the number and foot length is the unit selected for the measurement. Okay, when we were measuring the length or the breadth of a classroom, we were using our foots. Okay, we were using our foot length, and एक रूम की जो लेंथ है, ये जो रूम the length of a room is 12 foot length, means our 12 foot length is equal to one room, is equal to the length of one room. So that foot length is the unit which we have selected just to measure the length of a classroom. Now study all the measurements recorded in table 10.1 and 10.2. Are all the measurements of the room using everybody's foot equal? Are everybody's measurement by hand span of the width of the table equal? Perhaps the results could be difficult as the length of your hand span and that of your friends may not be the same. Similarly, the length of the foot may be slightly different for all the students. Therefore, when you tell your measurement using your hand span or a foot length of foot as a unit to others, they will not be able to understand how big the actual length is unless they know the length of your hand span or foot. Now, while studying table 10.1 and 10.2, what did you notice? We noticed that the measurement of the room using everybody's foot is not equal. They are different. Why? Because because our foot length and hand span cannot be same. Okay, they may differ from each other. Now, we see therefore that some standard units of measurement are needed that do not change from person to person. Yes. So, till now what we were using our hand span and foot length just for measuring the length, but that differs person to person. Okay, that length differs to person to person. Suppose my foot length can be 12 maybe 12 foot length of a classroom, the length, okay, but yours can be 10, 9, so it differs from person to person. So just to get the actual length of anything, of a classroom, of a table, of a desk, of anything, just to get the actual length, we need some standard units of measurement which does not change with person to person, or which does not change from person to person. Okay, now let's see page number 99. Now 10.4 standard units of measurement. In ancient times, the length of a foot, the width of a finger and the distance of a step were commonly used as different units of measurement. Yes, in ancient times means in our past, or you can say the earlier times. What were used as a unit of measurement? The length of a foot, the width of a finger, and the distance of steps were commonly used as different units of measurement. But the people of the Indus Valley civilization must have used very good measurements of length, because we see evidence in excavations of perfectly geometrical constructions. Now, the people of the Indus Valley, in Indus Valley civilization, the time period of Indus Valley civilization, in that in that time, people have used a very good measurement of length, because in that we see the evidences in excavation of perfectly geometrical constructions. Means perfectly geometrical constructions means this using a scale or a ruler or a scale just to measure, because the geometrical measurements are correct. Okay, so they used the geometrical constructions. Okay, or you can say they use the geometrical path. A cubit of a length, a cubit as the length from the elbow to the fingertips was used in ancient Egypt. Now, in ancient Egypt, what was used? A cubit. A cubit means as the length from our elbow to the fingertips. That was used in Egypt, and that is a cubit. Okay, and was also accepted as a unit of length in other parts of the world, and that was cubit was accepted as a unit of length in other parts of the world. Now, people also use the foot as a unit of length in different parts of the world. The length of foot used varied slightly from region to region. Yes. Now, the people used the foot also as a unit of length in different parts of the world, but it may differ, as we have studied earlier also, that the foot length differs from person to person. So it differs from region to region, or you can say that it differs from pupil to person to person. Pupil measured a yard of cloth by the distance between the end of the outstretched arm and the chin. Now after some time, what happens? The pupil use they measured a yard of cloth. A yard of cloth means a piece of a cloth, just by the distance and the end of the outstretched arm and the chin. Okay, means they stretch their arm, and from the tip of the fingers to our chin, they used to call it yard, or just they use that just to measure a cloth. The Romans measured with their pace or steps. Romans measured with their steps. In ancient India, small length measurement were used were an angle or a mutti. Now, in ancient India, small length measurements were usually taken by an angul, that is finger, or mutti, that is fist. Even today we see flower sellers using their forearm as a unit of length for garlands in many towns of India. Many such body parts continue to be in use as unit of length when convenient. Now, in ancient India, even today also, what we see that flower sellers are using their forearms just to measure the length of garlands in many towns of India. Okay, and many such body parts continue to be in use as a unit of length when it's convenient just to measure the things by our body parts, we measure it. However, everyone's body parts could be of slightly different sizes. This must have caused confusion in measurement. In 1790, the French created a standard unit of measurement called the metric system. Now, everybody's body parts can be different, or they can have different sizes. So this has created a huge confusion in measurement. So what happened in 1790? The French created a standard unit of measurement, this SI, which is known as metric system. For the sake of uniformity, scientists all over the world have accepted a set of standard units of measurement. The system of units now used is known as the International System of Units, SI units. The SI unit of length is a meter. All of you underline this line. The SI unit of length is a meter. Now, for the sake of the uniformity, or for the sake of the world, what happens? Scientists all over the world, scientists which are in all over the world, have accepted that a set of standard they accepted a standard unit of measurement, and that system is nowadays known as International System of Units, that is SI unit, and the SI unit of length is meter. A meter scale is shown in 10.6. Also shown is the 15 centimeter scale in your geometry boards. In your geometry boards, you all have 15 centimeter scales. Your ruler is of 15 centimeter. Okay. Now, each meter is divided into 100 equal divisions called centimeter. Now, the meters are divided. Now, the meters are divided into 100 equal divisions. That is why we call that 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeter, or 1 centimeter is equals to 10 millimeter. Now, each centimeter has 10 equal divisions called millimeter, mm. Thus, students, take the equation. 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeter and 1 centimeter is equals to 10 millimeter. Now, for measuring large distances, meter is not a convenient unit. Yes, meter and centimeter we can use just for measuring desk, table, or the length of a room, or anything else. But of a book and a copy also, you can measure your books as well as notebooks with the help of a ruler, but you can't measure the distances with the help of meter or centimeter. For that we need a larger unit of length. Now, the larger unit of length is known as kilometer. Now, 1 kilometer is equals to 1000 meters. Okay, so मीटर से भी बिगर यूनिट कौन सी है? किलोमीटर्स. Okay, now we can repeat all our measurement activities using a standard scale and measure in SI units. Before we do that, we do need to know the correct way of measuring lengths and distances. Correct measurement of length. In our daily life, we use various types of measuring devices. We use a meter scale, for measuring length. A tailor uses a tape, whereas a cloth merchant uses a meter rod. For measuring the length of an object, you must choose a suitable device. You cannot measure the girth of a tree or the size of your chest using a meter scale. For instance, measuring tape is more suitable for this. For small measurements such as the length of your pencil, you can use a 15 centimeter scale from your geometry box. Yes. For measuring the length, a tailor uses a measuring tape, and a cloth merchant uses a meter rod for measuring cloth. So for that, are measuring objects, or for measuring the length of an object, we should choose according to it, or you must choose a suitable device, or we should choose a suitable device for measuring any object. Okay, like for example, we can't measure the length or the girth of a tree. We can't, the thickness of a tree. We can't measure the thickness or the girth of a tree by a meter rod. Okay, so for that we need a meter tape. Yeah, like that. And suppose we have to measure our pencils, then what we will use? We will use our geometry box scales, that 15 centimeter scales. Okay, now in taking measurement of a length, we need to take care of the following. Now, while taking the measurement, we should follow some steps, or we should be careful about some things. Like, we should place the scale in contact with the object along its length as shown in figure 10.7. Now, we should place the scale in contact, or we should place the scale on the object along with its length. Okay, from the starting, we should place the scale in the in contact with the object. Second is, in some scales the ends may be broken. You may not be able to see the zero mark clearly. Figure 10.8a part. In such cases, you should avoid taking measurements from the zero mark of the scale. You can use any other full mark of the scale, say 1 centimeter. Figure 10.b. Then you must subtract the reading of this mark from the reading at the other end. For example, in figure 10.8b, the reading at one end is 1 centimeter and the other is 14.3 centimeter. Therefore, the length of the object is 14.3 minus 1 is equals to 13.3 centimeter. Now, in some scales, what happens? The starting point or the scales may be broken. Then the zero mark, as the rulers or the scales have a 0 point at the starting of a scale, and if a scale is broken, then that 0 point can be invisible. Then in that cases, what we should do? We should start measuring from any full mark of the scale. Okay, suppose like you can see that in figure 10.7b part, the 0 point is invisible and they had started measuring from before 1. So this is wrong. We should start from 1. Okay, as you can see in 10.8, you can see this thing, 10.8b. Okay, और full mark से start करने के बाद, then from the full mark we should measure that object at the other till the other end of the object. And after measuring, what we should do? We should subtract the reading from that full mark. We should subtract the reading of full mark from the reading at the other end. Okay, means जहाँ से हमने start किया था वो उस reading को हमें end वाला जो part है उसकी reading से subtract कर देंगे. जैसे कि you can see in figure 10.8, the full mark starting reading is 1 and the ending reading is 14.3. So what they have done? What we have to do? We have to just subtract 14.3 minus 1, which will become, and the result will be the actual length of a box. Okay, then the actual length of a box will come, which is 13.3 centimeter. I hope this is clear to everyone. Now, third, correct position of the eye is also important part for taking measurement. Your eye must be exactly in front of the point where the measurement is to be taken as shown in figure 10.9. Position B is the correct position of the eye. Note that from position B, the reading is 7.5. From positions A and C, the readings may be different. Now, the correct position of the eye is also very important for taking any measurement. Okay, because if our eyes will not be at correct position, then the measurements or the readings may be different. Okay, you can see in figure 10.9 also that there are three boys there is a one boy who is at A position, B position and C position. At A position, from A he is able to see the mark 8.5. From B he is able to see the mark 7.5. And from C he is able to see the mark 6.5. He is able to see the reading 6.5. So it should be at correct position, or you can say that the B, in these three positions, B position is the correct one. Okay, now see page number 101. Now let's start with activity 3. Measure the height of your classmate using hand span and then by using a meter scale. For this, ask your classmate to stand with his back against a wall. Make a mark on the wall exactly above his head. Now measure the distance from the floor to this mark on the wall with your hand span and then with a meter scale. Let all other students measure this length in a similar way. Record all observations in table 10.3. Study carefully results obtained from different students. The results in column 2 may be different from each other as the length of the hand span may be different for other students. Look at the result in column 3, where the measurements are done using a standard scale. The results may be close to each other one, but they are exactly equal. If not, why do you think there is a difference? After all, everybody is using the same scale and not different hand spans. This could be due to small errors in taking observations. In higher classes, we will learn about the importance of knowing and handling such errors in measurement. Now, in activity 3, what you have to do? You have to measure the height of your classmate using your hand span and after that by a meter scale. Now what you have to do? You have to ask your classmate just to stand with his back against a wall and mark a point just above his head on the wall. And after that, ask your other classmates just to measure the height with their hand span and a meter scale. Now the hand span measurement will be differ as the hand span length differs from person to person. Okay, now yes, there are some possibilities of the difference from meter scale also, but they are minutely, or they can be occurred while observing the length. Okay, because the meter rod or the meter scale is same, but the hand span's length is different from person to person. Okay, now 10.4 10.4 sorry 10.6, measuring the length of a curved line. We will discuss this in our next class. Till that class, revise your chapter, revise the third portion till now. Thank you, class.